I'm about to say, which is about the exam. Oh, right now it's 11. You ready? First day, this coming Thursday, you will go to East Campus. Okay. The dress code, you need steel-toe shoes, okay, safety glass, hard hat, either long sleeve or short sleeve is fine for your shirt. No FRC required. The map of East Campus is going to be posted later. We will meet at 11 and we will be done at, cannot promise, but I think it's about 12:20. Okay, it takes about 15 minutes to drive. Is it 15 minutes? It takes about 15 minutes for me to drive to the East Campus, but on Thursday I won't have car. My wife took it. I'll go with Danny. For Danny, I think first time it took him like half an hour or sometime quite long, like 20 minutes or something. So there's a certain route that you need to take. If you do something else, it could take a while to get there, or you may get lost in Lampert. That happened to me before. Okay, today we will try to, next we will talk about the project, and then exam, and then go over the rest of the material that you want to learn. For the project, last day of class is May 9. Okay, May 9 is last day of class. So that day will be the submission date. I haven't created assignment on the blackboard yet, but I will create the assignment on the blackboard, and the submission date will be May 9 at about 5 p.m. So how many groups do we have? Is 30 group or something? 31. So if you have 30 group, I take about 4 minutes to grade each group. So it will take me about 2 hours, just 2 hours, and it will be done. How do I grade within 4 minutes? Okay. What I can do is, it takes me about 20 seconds to open every page quickly. Then I can check this. I have my list to check which topic that is I need you to discuss about. So I flip the pages and look at the topic and see if it is there or not. So if you have the topic name, it should be boldface or something, so that I can check. Alright? And then I will read, not all of them, obviously. I will read some of them. So I read to check if you say something strange or not. Okay, so like topic 1, lag unit. You say, I don't need lag unit, and you're done. So if you say something like that, it's not acceptable for me, and I will use my grade procedure. You get 9 or something. So let's say you don't have lag unit. I need justification to say why I don't have lag unit. You may say lag unit is typically for the case where the production is about whatever that you do research. What does the mean do research? I mean, you Google it and the recommendation says it should be in that range, and you use lag unit. So if you don't use lag unit, you have to have justification for it. And I read, okay, line heater, you said I don't have line heater, and you're done. That's not okay. I need something like, I don't have line heater, the justification that I don't have line heater because blah 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 blah. I check the diagram and everything. It look like we are outside the phase envelope. Will this be identical to the report that you submit for the 4222? No, it's not. It's for me, for you to replace the final exam. Last year it is exactly the same thing, but I don't want that. I want something that is enough for me to understand that you understand the course material to the point where we can substitute it for the final exam. The list of everything. So you will have you will have the checklist for me. Some of you have read this, right? So guideline provide a checklist. If you don't provide a checklist, I think there are some 0.5 or something penalty or something, but that doesn't matter because you get 9.5 or 10%. So this is the whole list. I hope you read it. And this whole list is about 2,000 words. You just need to write 2,500 words. If you write less than that, it's not good. You get 5 or less or something. I said that somewhere. Is it? How will you do this realistically? So you probably have two screens, one screen on the left, another screen on the right. When you type it, on the screen on the left, you go through the topic. When I ask you to discuss about the like unit, you Google it. You don't copy and paste. One of the things that I do is copy your word, put it in Google, and check if they are identically matched to whatever on the internet or not. That's very easy, right? You do that, I do that too. Okay. So you read it, you type, okay, like unit, the full name of like unit, blah blah blah. Hit the trigger. You go to my slide. You try to. If you type quick, it doesn't take much time for you to type, like to discuss about heater treater, test separator. Of course, I need calculation. Calculation will be in the back, or you can put it in the middle or in the appendix. But there has to be some equation, some calculation to show that you did that calculation. Does it take a long time to do it? It takes a long time for me to type equation, but it doesn't take much time for you to highlight my equation, Control C and Control V, very quick. Don't print screen and put it there. It doesn't look good. And I said that specifically if you put it as a picture format, what kind of penalty you should get. So just copy and paste nicely for the equation, okay? Don't just copy the picture format. I type it for you already. Or if you can type quick, type it. You talk about compressor. Let's say you don't have compressor. You may say typically compressor is used in either gas station or VIU, or if the production have the pressure less than the pipeline pressure. My cell pressure is about 1,000 psi, and my pressure is already above 1,000 psi, so I don't need that compressor. So there has to be some reason to justify it. Or if you need compressor, you explain more. Put calculation. The part that I expect that you have calculation for sure, like pressure drop calculation, pressure drop in the pipe. So let's say you say, I use a separator to separate gas, and I sell gas, and I'm done. No, that's not the report for me. When you sell gas, you will say, okay, I expect that my pressure drop in the gas pipeline will be about 20 psi. The reason that I'm saying that because of my calculation, I use Panhandle B, Panhandle A wave equation, and the result looks like in the same order of magnitude. There has to be some reason to justify it. And you say, okay, the density actual density in the gas pipeline is about blah 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 blah, and you say, okay, velocity of that gas in the gas pipeline, the erosional velocity is about this much. So you have to talk about erosional velocity. Erosional velocity, I didn't get a chance to tell you on it, but it will be in your final report. Okay, so you say I select the. Sometimes you may not even have to. In 4222, I don't know if you have to talk about the cell pipeline or not. I sell it to gas pipeline. Maybe you are done that cost, but not in 4405. Okay. So in 4405, you say you sell the gas in the gas pipeline. The gas pipeline is your gas pipeline is expected to have a certain size of diameter, and the reason that you have that diameter because of pressure drop calculation, erosional velocity calculation, and velocity recommendation. You just go to my slide, whatever I recommend, put it in. It takes about couple hours to go through it and type it, and maybe 4 days or something. I mean, 3 days, 4 afternoon, and you should be able to have a good report. Okay. Question. It's video, the last day of class, which is May 9. Yes. It will be due on that day, May 9. And about, you want 5 p.m. or you want midnight? Doesn't matter for me, but it may matter for you. Was it 1 p.m. or what?
No, question.
Midnight? Oh, okay. Question.
You said we could do 1 report per group.
Oh, okay. AJ, who else is in your group?
Olivia.
Olivia. So you and her will put the name on the report. You submit it to me. Soft copy. Okay. Upload on the blackboard. Okay. Allocate sometime like 10 minutes for 10 to 15 minutes for any technical problem. When you upload it, you and her upload the same file so that I know that she did it, you did it. And on that report, first page, it will be your name. Okay. Then you and her will get the same score. How about that? Good? Exactly the same score. Unless we have like one of you come to see me that, hey, another person didn't do anything. And I asked another person to come to see me too, and he also said, I didn't do anything. So one of you can get 9, another one can get 0. You didn't do anything, you get 0. Okay? But I think you do something. So most of the time, if there is no comparison thing, you get identical score. Let's talk about exam. How about that? Good? Marshall, can you count how many people in here? How many? You have number? Not yet? Just count. Yeah. So I have addendum on my policy. So if we have 5 people take sick leave, that seems to be like misuse of the university excuse or something. So those 5 people will retake the exam if within 7 days. If somehow we cannot manage it, it doesn't fit your time, it's not your fault, it isn't my time, it's not my fault either, you get a grade of I, incomplete, and we'll fix it later before the deadline, which is the first day of the next semester. You don't want to do that, you want to graduate, so come do the exam, okay? Very easy. Exam. What is in the exam that you already know? We have 70. I change this part. If you did not do it, you get 0, not -1. Very generous. Okay. So if you did it wrong, you get -1. If you did it right, you get +1. 70 questions. 70 questions on the first part. Most of them have choice. Some of them doesn't have choice. It's from slide 06 or something that is about compressor to the one before water treating. So if I memorize something and you don't memorize it, I think it's unfair. Okay? I want you to memorize the same thing that I memorize. I memorize not many equations. I know Reynolds number equation, Prandtl number equation, Nernst number equation, frictional pressure loss, gravitational pressure loss. I don't memorize Weber's equation, but I know what Weber's equation is for in what situation. So most of the questions in part 1 will be something that we cannot test you quantitatively. There's no equation for you to do calculation, and we teach you, and I use a lot of energy to teach you, so you have to know that, and we go to the field trip for that, which is gas treating. Okay, so gas treating part, there's no equation, so very likely it will be in that 70-point part. Okay, the pump thing that you see, compressor pump, PD pump, or centrifugal pump, PD or not PD, PD or not PD, by now you should know that, right? If you don't know that, you probably want to know that very quick, right? Any question that is in the PowerPoint presentation, you go read it. If you cannot find out what it is, ask your classmate or ask me. Okay, 10 minutes before the exam, I don't answer any of your questions. Okay, I prepare for the exam. Compressor calculation. Who Who want to? Hunter, did you do compressor homework? Yes. If we have that again, exactly the same, can you do it again? Yes or no? How long does it take? Did you practice? Oh my God. What if it is not the same? Yeah, problem or? Okay, pump with liquid flow calculation. Who? Okay, Olivia, did you do pump homework? What if it happened again in the exam? Can you do it? How long does it take for you to do it? If it is identical, how long does it take? 7 minutes, 8 minutes. How long does it take for you to do it if the number is changed? How long does it take for you to do it correctly? Oh, okay, so you should be fine. Let's think about it realistically. 70 points, let's say you get just 50. Okay, you do 50 correct, 10 wrong, another 10 nothing. You didn't answer anything for 10 questions. So 50 correct, you get 50 points, 10 wrong, you get minus 10, and another 10 you didn't do anything, so you have 40. Okay. 2.1. Okay, let's say it's the same as the homework. Just assume that it's the same as homework, so you get it done fine. Question 2 is the same as the homework, it's done fine. Question 3 is not the same as the homework and you cannot do it. Question 4, you do half of it. Question 5 maybe is the same, so you can do it. So then you get about 35 from this part. 40 plus 35 is what? 75. 75 is. So you get, instead of 100, you get like 93. So first grade, if you do that, actually you get B, or you don't get A. Okay. If you get A, you do a little bit better. So you should do at least 4 of this. And 50 correct, I'm trying to guess. Okay. Let's say we have +1 for correct answer, -1 for wrong answer. If you do 2 questions, 1 correct, 1 incorrect, totally you get 0, right?
Yes.
Yes, mathematically it's like that. But when it actually happens, sometimes when you guess, you try to guess on the wrong answer. So it's not like +1 plus with -1. Most of the time you get like -1 or something. So if you guess, make sure that you have the chance more than 50% and then you guess. Okay? Some question is very easy and there's no choice. Okay. What do you think is the easy thing that I should ask that there's no choice? Next to you. Okay, Chris. Can you give me some example of easy thing that you expect me to know for sure and you don't give any choice for me?
I don't understand the question.
Which question do you think is easy enough for a student to answer without having choice or anything? Do you have any question in mind that it should be in the exam? Reynolds numbers. Okay, next, what's your name? Random, what is Reynolds number formula?
Rho v d over mu.
Okay, yeah, very good. So that's kind of easy question. You should do it just fine. Of course, there will be some easy question on the gas processing. What is easy question on the gas processing? Gas processing, I have some thought, I talk about it and then talk about it too much. Gas treating. In the back, we have picture A, B, C, D. Brandon, by now you know what is A, what is B, what is C, what is D? Yeah, okay. And I have this quick question. Anyone haven't had a chance to look at this? Next to you, Brandon, what is his name? Dylan, did you have a chance to answer any of these quick questions?
Yes.
Of course, question number 4 will be adjusted for the unit to be power per mmSF. What about this? Did you have a chance to fill in the blank?
The first one's the context.
What process is used to remove nitrogen? Select soil. Select soil is to do what, Ernest? H2S. This is physical solvent or chemical solvent? What? Ernest? Physical solvent, okay, very good. Yeah, you should know that. So the answer for this is cryogenic. This is like what type of, so physical solvent, chemical solvent, you have to know TEG. We use TEG, we don't use monoethylene glycol or diethylene glycol. This picture, did anyone haven't tried to fill in the blank? This is same as the last year exam. So the chance for this to pop up in the exam is quite high. I think it's quite high. Slide 52. Which question? Glycol dehydration work by absorption or adsorption water into its back phase. Who want to answer this? Jacob. Okay, yeah, AB absorption. Very good, right? So it should not take you too long. How many people do we have, Marshall? 59. Okay, still okay. 59 is okay. If we have 5, get sick today for the exam. So if we have 5 people get sick today for the exam, I will consider that as I don't consider that as a false claim of getting sick or something. I consider that as is like it is more likely than not that one of those you just make the excuse to skip the exam. So those 5 people, every one of them I will have to remake the exam for those 5 people, and I will do it as soon as I can. Okay, and you will take it at the time that you can take, and if the time that you can take doesn't match the time that I can take, you have to postpone it somehow or do it after the exam. So that you don't want that. Okay, come take the test. Okay. Question 3, heat transfer calculation. Who haven't done the homework on heat transfer? Did you do that? Next to math, attitude. You did that? Any question on that? So if the question just changed slightly, can you still do that? Oh, 2.4. What can be on 2.4? What about last year exam that we have wax deposit in the pipe that we have to use pressure ratio method? On the last year, the question is like this. Last year we have like wax deposit in the pipe and we have a certain pressure drop. After a while, pressure drop go up. And what is the thickness of the wax deposit? Initially, no wax. After a while, we have wax and we know pressure before and after wax deposition. So what you do is you use 2F rho v squared over d, the ratio of that, and then you can calculate it. It may not be that question, it can be something else, something other than last year exam. Did you do successive method? Did you do that? Or you might ask you, okay, I have a pipe, pressure drop in the pipe for the case of 1 meter per second of water. How much will it be? And what about that if we have gas? Can you do that? Gas pressure drop is somewhat more complicated. Do you know the reason of that? Why it is more complicated? Of course, you can just label the equation, but it's set. So for liquid, we don't really need empirical based equation for frictional pressure loss. For gas, we need to use empirical based equation. Why is that? So why regular equation doesn't do the job?
It's not consistent.
Did I not explain you? Let me explain you again. When you flow gas, we have pressure drop. When pressure drop, gas expand, right? When pressure drop, there's a change of pressure, temperature also change. You still remember Euler diagram? Euler diagram is not in the test, to be fair for you. But if you still remember Euler diagram, when there's a pressure drop, temperature drop too, unless temperature is very high, right? So fluid property of gas phase is a strong function of pressure and temperature. And there is subsequent temperature drop when you have pressure drop. Because of that, isothermal equation doesn't capture everything. That's a theoretical approach. That's why you need empirical based model. Good? Maybe that's not in the exam, but I want you to know it anyway. So question for me. Any question for me? Okay, I have a question for you. Is this process seem to be too stressful and you get nervous or something? Or it's just fine? Eric Faulkner, you fine?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Is it fine enough?
Yeah.
Will you come to take the test or you get the doctor note?
I'll come and take the test.
Oh, come take the test. Very good. Okay. Megan, any suggestion, any complaint or anything that you don't like?
I don't like the -1 for wrong answers.
Oh, I remember I have something to ask you. Okay, before that question, why do you think we should have -1 for the wrong answer, Megan?
Why do I think?
Yeah, what should we have? Why do I want that? Maybe you don't want that, but why do I want that?
So we'll study more, I don't know.
I don't want you to guess. Or don't want you to say a bunch of things that is not true, because it can hurt somebody else. So if I say something, hey, it is like this, and people believe me, and it appears to be wrong, that's cause negative impact on them, right? I don't want that. If I don't know, I should not say it. But if you want to guess, like 80% chance that it is like that, it's fine. And you have an 80% chance of getting it correct too. Okay? So you can guess. Next, Haley. If other people cheat on the exam, you see them, will you tell me? Or tell one of the proctor?
For sure.
Yes or no? Why? Why did you do that? When other people cheat, is that fair for you?
No way.
No way. Okay. Is that what kind of... Okay, I should change. Ashley, if other people cheat on the exam, what is the consequence on tensor tape?
It looks bad.
It's not bad. It's not like, oh, it doesn't matter, other people cheat, it's not me. It's not that, right? So, if anyone cheat, what do we do to them?
Tell them.
So, what happens is this? Let's say I see someone cheat. I see someone cheat during the exam. I will go and ask one couple student and grader to take a look at that. You see that the same way that I see. You see he tried to look at other person answer sheet. You see that. So when you see that, I say that, and you will be the witness. Most of the people who are about to graduate get caught during the exam will request for the hearing panel, and we need the witness and evidence to do something. Okay. If somehow you make a bad choice, you cheat, I would suggest you to confess and do some mitigation action or something that will lessen you make your blame become less and less or something. But I think the exam, you don't have time to cheat actually. I don't quite worry that you cheat on the exam. And one last thing before we move on, When everything is done, okay, let's say we end at 7:03. So we start at 5:03 and we end at 7:03. At 7:03, every one of you will stand up. Okay? You stop writing anything, you stand up. The name is already on every pages of your paper. And this time we have the page number too. You just have to sign and I will go and check every one of you if you sign or not. Okay? And other than good luck for the exam, what else you need? Adam, you need anything else?
What's number 4? 2.4.
What's number 4? Number 4 is not to be known before the exam. That's number 4. Please. That's number 4. Other questions like 1, 2, 3, and 5, there are relevant homework questions that I would strongly suggest you to review. Okay? And question pictures or anything in the slide, I would strongly suggest you to review. And if you don't have answer, come to see me before the exam. Come to me after the exam. Isn't it really good? So today, I will dedicate my time for all of you. If you have questions, come to see me, ask me the question. That's fine. I don't want to see you again next year. Okay? I hope this is the last time that I see you for 44 or 5. Next year, you do something else, you get a job or something. You don't retake a class or something. Right? Let's do manifest flow.